XFL merchandise is in full swing, but which team is winning the merchandise sales war? And while the XFL has a very good TV deal with all their games being broadcast on Fox and ABC and etc., that TV deal does not provide them any of the advertising revenues the networks receive. Now, this is not surprising. It's a new league. They want to establish themselves on the television side of things. So they're going to make money other ways. The XFL needs to sell tickets, merchandise, and stadium merchandise to bring in the revenue. This will keep the league going. The XFL outsourced their sales for sponsorship and tickets to marketing firms that specialize in such thing. This ensures that they'll get the most out of their ticket and sponsorships. We've been contacted by the season ticket offices saying, get ready, you're going to be able to pick your seats soon. That's a third-party company that's doing it, which is a smart move by the XFL. And they don't have, but they do, one thing they have control over is their merchandise sales. A media source with contacts in the league told one of our reporters, Mickey J. Wynn, gave him some inside scoop on the XFL merchandise sales. XFL is pleased with their level of merchandise sales at this time. It appears that the sales are not evenly distributed between the 8 teams. Here's where he's got the best sellers, and this is all listed on XFL News Hub. Number 1 in sales for merch, the St. Louis Battlehawks. Now, per my source, it appears that St. Louis is far ahead in merchandise sales. The city really gotten behind the team. They were scorned by the NFL, so it makes sense. They want to show that they're a viable football market, and they're rallying around the XFL. So St. Louis Battlehawks is your number 1 rank in sales by far. Number 2 is Seattle Dragons. Despite some people not liking the name, the Dragons have seen their sales increase of late and currently sit on the list at second place. After this, 3 to 5 are actually very close, and it sounds like they may be changing spots weekly. So you have number 1, Battlehawks, number 2, Dragons. Then it goes down to these guys. You got the Houston Roughnecks at number 3. New York Guardians. Interesting to note that the Guardians are leading the league in hoodie sales, likely even because of the cold weather in New York. It's kind of interesting. Dallas Renegades are 5. Your America's team, DC Defenders. That's right, America's team. Defenders have a good social media presence and have seen sales pick up lately. They're still, though, trailing the Renegades, per source. That's at number 6. Number 7, Tampa Bay Vipers. My sources say there's a very sizable gap between DC and Tampa, and the gap appears to be growing. And number 8, the Los Angeles Wildcats. The Wildcats sales have been lagging. LA has had issues drawing for their NFL teams in particular. So it seems like the XFL will have its hands full trying to get the city to buy in for those. But the good news about the XFL is it's a single entity. So whether one team does better than the other, it doesn't matter because it all kind of comes into the same pool. So between that, ticket sales, merchandise sales, that's kind of where things are at now. Sign some players, have a draft. We'll see. But honestly, looking at these rankings, I would say that this would hold pretty steady. I'm not surprised about Seattle whatsoever. I'm not surprised about St. Louis. I'm surprised about Seattle doing as well. I really kind of was like, I don't know if Seattle's a great market out there. I mean, their football does really well, but their team is good. Houston Roughnecks, that makes sense. I thought maybe Dallas would be ahead of that, but Dallas Cowboys. The Guardians, I'm surprised about. I thought that the Guardians would be kind of a weaker one. DC, where they're at, is I'm not surprised. Tampa Bay, we'll get into what city you should cut from the XFL later on in the show. But there you have it. There are your 8 XFL team sales in ranking for merchandise. And if you haven't got your merchandise, buy it now so you can help your team move up the ladder.